If you put $350 into a low-cost index fund every single month for 40 years, you'd be a millionaire. Doesn't that sound terrible? Becoming a millionaire is a feat not achieved by everyone. And if this is your financial goal in life, this way of investing would be the slowest way to do it. And there are thousands of videos out there about ETFs and how you can invest in them and how they can give you an average annual rate of return of 8%, which is pretty cool, but in reality, it isn't. You see a lot of this advice because it's actually quite simple. There are a few funds that you could invest in and pretty much guaranteed, not 100% guaranteed, but you could become a millionaire over time. It would just take you a really long time. But for beginners, this is not the best way to achieve financial freedom. Typically, if this is your style of investing, it's a way to preserve wealth. But for us regulars, it won't move the needle. If you're thinking about it from a wealth preserving perspective and you want to get that average annual rate of return of 8% in low cost index funds or ETFs, and if you want to check that actual return rate, go look at the historical average of the S&P 500, and it's about 7 to 10%. So people typically say 8% with inflation being roughly 2% per year. So that's typically how you're hearing that number often. But if you think about it, someone who has $10 million and they're making 8% per year is $800,000. That's pretty awesome from doing basically nothing other than just buying an index fund or buying a stock. But like I mentioned, if you're a regular person and maybe you have $10,000 to invest, if you put $10,000 into one of these funds and you make 8%, that's only $800 a year, which is pretty cool, and you're making money with your money, but it isn't going to change your life or really move the needle. If you want to actually change your life and be comfortable financially so you're not worrying about inflation, going to the grocery store, high gas prices, paying for the lifestyle that you actually want, albeit maybe just a modest lifestyle, then you're going to need to do something with your money that will actually do those things and move the needle and not just get you $800 a month, but drastically change the amount of money that you might make over time. When I first started on my journey of financial freedom and trying to earn more funds, I was making roughly $3,200 a month take-home pay, which is a pretty decent take-home pay. I was excited about my job and I liked the amount of money that I was getting, but today I make between $15,000 and $20,000 a month profit that I can actually take home. Now that's a much bigger difference, and it has made my life a lot easier from a financial perspective. And this way of thinking is what I'd much rather people focus on rather than just slowly investing into something and then becoming a millionaire when you're really old and living off of those funds. You need to figure out ways that you can earn more money and the ways that you can invest money that will actually make a big difference in your life so you can do the things that you want with your time, because ultimately that's what we want back. If we wait until we're 65 years old and we've waited 40 years of investing diligently month by month, yes, you're disciplined, you're doing a great job, but by then you're going to be 65 and you've lost a lot of time. So I've given you the reasoning, and you might be sitting here thinking, who's this handsome guy with very nice blue eyes sitting out here on the internet telling me that I shouldn't invest? Is he at least going to tell me what I should do instead? And yes, I will give you some options about what you can actually do, but the answer, like anyone who's extremely knowledgeable in a subject, is it depends. There's so many options of things that you could do out there that could make you a lot of money and change your life, like copywriting, dropshipping, going on Fiverr, and potentially editing videos for YouTubers. You could start an Etsy shop, or you could scroll down and make that thumbs up button blue, because that'll help me out a lot. But for me, what really moved the needle was investing in real estate. Really, how would you out there watching know exactly what you should pick? What's the best thing that is going to make you rich? Because there's so many options. I already listed probably 5 of them, and there's probably 500 more things that you could actually do in order to make money. So how do you know what is the best one? Because you might be scrolling through TikTok, seeing videos on YouTube, going on Instagram, and there are so many people talking about things that have made them really wealthy. So it can make you really not sure how to pick a thing because there's so many options and you're having a hard time focusing on one. So here's my actual advice on how you can pick a thing and start making a lot of money. The first and foremost thing that you need to do is learn. If you're a lifelong learner, if you're curious, you are going to just be more successful than people. Always continually ask questions and try to meet people who know the thing that you are trying to do. You're out here on YouTube trying to learn stuff, which is absolutely awesome. And if you continue to read books, listen to podcasts, and find out what you might actually be interested in, that way you're going to be able to pick that specific thing. Because I mentioned a bunch of different options like editing YouTube videos, copywriting, starting a lawn care business, or maybe you're going to start a social media channel like myself. If you don't actually go ahead and learn about those things, you won't know what you're actually interested in. So for me, it's real estate and making social media because I like helping people and I find real estate very engaging. For someone else, it might be creating a massive YouTube video editing business, but I personally hate editing YouTube videos, which is why I pay someone else to do it. So if you just continue to learn, listen to different podcasts, read different books, you're going to find what you're interested in. Personally, when I was going to school, I absolutely hated reading. You'd give me a history book and I would fall asleep within the first half of the page, and I'd never be able to discuss in class an English book that we were talking about because I consistently would just read it, and then I'd get to the end of the chapter and not really retain anything because I was just thinking about other things. It wasn't until I got out of school and I started reading more business and finance books till I realized what I was actually interested in, because I couldn't put these books down. I would read them from start to finish. I'd spend a whole weekend just reading a book because of how interested in it I was. And now, not necessarily do you need to have the passion meet the money, but at least needs to be something that you find entertaining, because when you start working hard at it, it's going to be easier. Personally, I don't want to start an Amazon FBA or drop shipping or Etsy store because I don't think that's what I want to do with my time. I like making YouTube videos, teaching other people how to become wealthy and achieve financial freedom, and I like renovating real estate, putting together Airbnbs, and making monthly cash flow is pretty cool too. Homer Simpson said, "The first step towards failure is trying." Now, that is not good advice. That's not a quote I want you to use, but it is pretty funny. What you need to do is actually just try stuff and be okay with it failing. Personally, you see my new fresh haircut that I just got, and this is the 7th barber that I've been to since I moved to North Carolina, and I've had a lot of negative options. I had an awesome barber in Boston, absolutely love him. Shout out Society Barbershop in downtown Boston on Mass Ave, great guy. Nevertheless, I found myself here not being able to find a good barber, but I continued to try to go to different options, not being afraid of failure, even though I am really particular about my hair. And then finally, I found someone that I actually like. And if you want to pick a thing that will actually make you money, you just need to continue to learn and see what you're interested in, try that thing, and see if it actually works for you, because so many people start businesses and they fail. And they continue to fail and continue to fail, but then eventually they find something that actually gives them success. And that's really the story with every successful person. They continue to try to do things, they don't give up, because they know if they just outlast other people and continue to work at their craft daily, you don't have to completely grind, wake up at 3 a.m., go to bed at midnight, but you just have to continually work on that craft that you find interesting and put effort towards it every single day, and you will find success in that thing and you will make more money. So 1 and 2 really can happen concurrently, because you can learn and then you can try stuff. So make sure you're learning and then actually taking action, because you could read all the books, podcasts, and take all the mentorship group and courses that you would want to do, and then not actually ever do anything. So make sure that you're learning and that you take action. Action is going to be the most important step out there, because if you don't take action, you're never actually doing something. And I wouldn't consider just joining a mentorship group or reading a book taking action. It's a great way for you to expand your knowledge and continue to be curious, but you should take that curiosity and put it into something real. And for me, because I took this approach instead of just investing monthly into ETFs, low-cost index funds, and then just slowly increasing my salary at my job and not really moving the needle all that much with investing, but still being diligent about it, I then took a different route with my real estate and social media and started honing in on my craft, and I became a millionaire in 4 years. 4 years is obviously a massive difference to waiting until I'm 65. Right now I'm 27, almost 28 years old, and I still have my whole life ahead of me, and I have financial freedom. I can do what I want with my time, I can do what I please, and this is what it's all about, getting your time back. If you're just diligently investing into ETFs, that's awesome, and it's going to make you rich over time, but it isn't going to change your life today to the things that you actually want to do. And now I still do invest in ETFs passively, because I think it's a great, easy way to passively invest, but I'm more heavily focused on those things that will bring me in more money, so that by the time I have wealth, I can then continue to preserve it into something like an ETF or low-cost index fund. But I need to find ways to increase my income by continuously learning, continuously asking questions, and just trying stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video and it pushes you to progress on your goals in 2023 and beyond. And if you want to learn more ways to make money, especially as it revolves around investing in real estate, definitely hit that subscribe button, tap that like button if you haven't already done so, and if you want to hit the notification bell so you get notified and learn more ways so you can achieve financial freedom, definitely do that as well. And if you don't follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I post there daily, so I'd really appreciate it if you would go follow me there as well. So thanks again for watching, and more wealth is coming your way.